As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be.
Oh man, it's 8 o'clock.
And so that'll make it a.
I don't need the spotlight. I shine just fine.
Hi, I'm Karma, and yes, I am a bitch.
Brav Bros. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brav Bros, your favorite podcast from the bros for everybody. For whoever wants to listen, I am your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Santa Clarita Goots.
Oh, that's a good one.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, it's topical. We're going to talk a little Valley today.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm into it.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
At least I didn't name another show by accident.
That's a good point. Yeah. Because you did that before and it gets a little messy. But you are on point, which is more than I can say for how second episodes typically go.
I know. So we just did our supersized Vanderpump reunion recap. If you haven't listened to that yet, do yourselves a favor. Go back and check that one out. But as you know, we tend to get a little loopy in our second episode when we have to record two. Not to mention the Vanderpump episode was a little emotionally heated at times. So yeah, who knows? Buckle up for this one. The good thing is it's a very solid episode of The Valley. Once again, this show continues to fire on all cylinders. It is remarkable that, and we should have seen it coming, honestly, because we were so out on this show before it aired, that it would do this and be one of the better shows we've seen in a very long time. As we said in our VPR episode, we have yet to have a clunker episode of The Valley.
Yeah, and we have the finale next week.
Yeah, all they have to do is deliver on the finale. They don't have a reunion, which is blasphemy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Something happened.
One bit. Something must have happened. I just assume maybe it's Jesse and Michelle, but I don't know.
Jax and Brittany, they're still palling around.
Yeah, they're still at like
events. They're at the
correspondent
fucking White
dinners.
House court.
Yeah.
Look. We need to talk about that.
We
Just
did
for a
talk about
sec. Again, why are they there? Why is Jax getting interviewed there?
I believe we did about a 10-minute thing about how Jax was there and the questions that he was asked.
It's just insane. Like, what are we doing? That's how we want to portray ourselves to the rest of the world. Here's reality TV star Jax Taylor. What do you know about politics? Oh, nothing? How are the Hurricanes doing? Oh, they're fucking great.
Well, look, the only people that are actually watching a Jax Taylor interview at the White House correspondent dinner
is us.
If they're not in America, are people that know Jax Taylor.
That's it. I hope. But what if the one random person's like, who the fuck is that? Like, he doesn't know anything. Like,
where's that guy from?
I don't know.
All right.
Germany, maybe?
Yeah, just check it in. But no, it really has been an astoundingly
Oh, that
good
was Simon.
season.
That was Simon.
That was Simon, yeah. And Simon knows who that is because Simon he just wants to be in the limelight.
Yeah, he sure does.
Pour one out for Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, pour one out for Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, boy. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, why don't we
Let's
just
get into the Valley? Let's just hop right in there.
Let me give a quick shout out to Brav Bros members because we are nearing our 250 member mark, and that is when we're going to start our bromance episodes, which are us recapping some rom-coms. You get to vote on a rom-com. We will watch it and recap it, much like we recap our shows. So there are a lot of other perks, such as a monthly Zoom with all members, a weekly newsletter updating on what's going on in the show, what shows we're watching, what guests are coming on, and what guest spots we are going to be doing. So if you want to sign up, join the craze, join the fun, it is $5 a month. The link is in our bio on Instagram. It is also $50 for the year if you'd rather do an annual membership. It will also be available in the show notes at the bottom of this episode. Now, let's jump right into the Valley. Let's waste no time. And we start out with Brittany, Nia, and Jasmine, and I'm glad they're addressing with just simply the way that Jax talked to her during the previous evening because he was claiming that she was drunk or had been drinking all day. We watched her on the boat. She had not. She admits to having 2 drinks throughout the entire day. Meanwhile, you've got people falling over drunk. People are messy as hell, and she's not the problem. She's laying in bed, and you won't leave her the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of, she gets sick, if she has a sip of alcohol, whatever the case may be, that is not how you talk to a person you love. It's definitely not how you talk to your fucking wife, and it's deplorable. So I'm glad that...
And it's definitely not the way to talk to anyone in front of other people.
No, oh my God, no. Like that, no, you shouldn't do it behind closed doors either. But like the fact that there's other people involved is even that much more embarrassing for her.
It's embarrassing, it's deplorable. there is a silver lining where at least he did it in front of other people so that other people understand what happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's
I
not
guess.
just you'll never believe what Jax did, so I wasn't drinking all day, and then he came after me. There's always going to be the thought in the back of your mind with somebody like Brittany. Who knows if this is actually true or whatever happened. You just watched it play out in real time the day before. So it is important to at least see this scene because the girls are sitting down talking to Brittany about it. And it allows Brittany to have a bit of a safe space to talk. Now, obviously, there's cameras, but she can at least air it all out there.
That's a good
And the
point.
rest of the group can understand if anything were to happen in the future, we're probably going to take Brittany's side.
As we should.
I would hope.
Yeah, but they start talking about the Michelle rumors, and Michelle claims that Jesse already knew about all of those things. It's not a big deal. And this is a little bit more sad.
Yeah.
Because she's like, therapy is working for Jesse. She acknowledges the effort that Jesse is trying to put forward, which is nice. At least she's acknowledging the fact that, yeah, you know what? He really is trying.
It's nice but sad.
It's nice but sad because, yes, acknowledging the attempt. However, at this point, I'm not attracted to him anymore. Everything he does, she's got the ick for her husband, which is a really tough spot to be in. And she starts crying. She's like, I want to feel how I used to feel. And now I'm put in a position where if I do have to make a decision, I'm the bad guy.
Right.
And
it's a lot of self-awareness.
It is a lot of self-awareness. And it's also, look, is she sending feet pics to Tarantino? Probably. But that's where none of them are blameless in this whole thing.
That would be semantics, too, because she said she wasn't sending any pictures of herself in lingerie.
Tarantino
do have feet lingerie, I think.
How do you know that?
I don't know.
Ew, I don't want to get into that.
I'm just kidding.
I don't want to get into that one at all. But both sides of the street are kind of messy here. Granted, there's no actual proof of Michelle's indiscretions, but you could argue it led to that because of Jesse not putting in enough effort early on in their marriage. I'm not justifying stepping out in your marriage. I'm simply saying the lack of effort from Jesse, which he is also self-aware enough to talk about multiple times this episode alone, that's what's leading to all of this. But it's sad, too, because you cut to the boat and Jesse's like, we're both working to get back to square one. It's like,
yeah, you're working.
You are. She's not.
But that's the other thing that we've seen this whole season, and we heard a story about how he handled things during COVID. Yes, he is working to try to get back to some sort of level playing field, but he's done this before. So, look, we don't really know what's going on with Michelle and talking to other guys right now. We'll find it out, I'm sure, eventually. Somebody's going to leak something. But he has done this in the past. So I don't really blame Michelle for thinking, okay, yeah, he's getting back to square one, but I'm not. Because I never moved on from all of that, and I've seen this behavior in the past. So, yeah, I mean, it does paint her as the bad guy because she simply doesn't want to do this anymore because of what's happened over the last couple of years. And Jesse is 1,000% the type of guy that's going to be talking to all of his friends, saying, I'm working really hard, she's working hard, and we're just trying to get back. So if she does cut him off at some point, which it looks like next episode we're going to start talking about that, if she cuts him off, he is going to look back and be like, you're the bad guy. We're trying to work back at this one.
He's trying to set himself up for the best possible scenario. I don't think that means...
I think he is working for the family, but there is a semblance of, I'm doing this so that I'm putting in the work, and if you do something, I can't be at fault.
Well, you saw a peek behind the curtain when he says that, where he's like, if she does cheat, then I'm going to tell Isabella, yeah, your mom ruined everything.
Correct, yeah.
So, yeah, you know that it's somewhat self-serving, but at the same time, I'm not taking away from the fact that it is genuine effort, but he's also very aware that it's too little too late. Right. He says it multiple times in different ways, but you see them on the boat, and Danny's getting fucking lit while they're setting up the baby shower and the surprise baby shower and all that stuff. But Danny gets back to the house, and in the car ride, I'm like, oh boy, like my man is tanked.
Yeah.
It's going to be messy, and they're getting ready for this party. And I loved going through the rooms as people are getting dressed because Danny's fucking wasted getting dressed as Outlander because it's a fantasy party. You dress as the other person's
your
fantasy.
Spouse's fantasy, yeah.
So Danny's getting dressed as Outlander, which is so funny that's Nia's big thing. She's
yeah.
like, I've watched Outlander straight through 3 times.
3 times.
That's fucking awesome. And his was a big bottle of ranch, which is also really funny. Meanwhile, Jesse makes a bad sex joke.
Again.
Again, because he can't help himself. And Jax thinks he's fat. So, going through these rooms of insecurity were very funny for me. And the cherry on top is just drunk Scottish Danny, who is a
Drunk
whirlwind.
Scottish Danny. Although I do love Jason coming in as a hot dog.
Yeah, that was
Fuck
good.
yeah.
That was really funny.
That's great.
Yeah, it's straightforward. And
You can say whatever you want about Janet, but it does seem like they do have a really good marriage. And pretty much everything that they do is they're on level with each other.
Sure.
You don't think so?
I don't. I think they do have a good marriage. I'm not taking away from their marriage.
Pretty
It's just-
vanilla, but it's there.
They just seem so different from
Yeah,
each
they
other.
do.
Like wild. Like the things that she prioritizes are things that he didn't have time for.
Yeah.
The rumors, like stirring shit up. He's very cut and dry,
Yeah,
straightforward.
but he loves her, it seems, so.
Yeah, which I'm not. Yeah, of
Good.
course. So like whatever.
works.
It's an interesting duo. That's all I'm saying. But Jesse is Harry Styles. I thought Jax. I asked Dev because I didn't see the thing when he walked in
Right.
because
Did you think it was Elton John, too?
No. Oh, when
I
I
thought it
saw
was- I thought
Jesse
it was
walk
Elton
down, I thought it was
John.
Elton
Yeah.
John. I'm not talking about Jesse.
Oh, sorry.
I thought because Brittany was what a puck, the equivalent,
Puck Honey?
of a cleat chaser for hockey.
Uh-huh.
I thought Jax was Zac Efron from High School Musical.
I didn't think that it was... So the NBA player is obviously what it was. I thought it was him coming out on stilts because Brittany wishes he was taller.
Well, Brittany had a thing with an NBA player.
Yeah,
That's what that was.
but I thought it was just simply, I wish that Jax was taller.
Which is also funny,
Yeah.
but my head didn't see what he was supposed to be. I was like, Zac Efron, High School Musical. I don't know, which would have been a weird one in
Yeah.
retrospect. So I'm glad that
Famously
wasn't it.
not that tall.
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I don't. You seem to be stuck on that. It's not the stilt thing I'm on. It's the
He
outfit.
had stilts.
I get that. I'm stuck
You
on
just
the
ignored the stilts?
I did.
Okay.
Stilts are
All right,
irrelevant.
It's okay, all right.
I
We're
didn't.
good.
I'm going to be honest with you. Didn't see the stilts because I didn't see the name. I looked down to write something and I looked up. He was sitting down with the outfit. And
Okay.
I was like,
All right.
Zac Efron in High School Musical.
Okay.
It was not.
It was
which,
not.
It's probably good too. If that was her fantasy, that'd be really fucking weird. So I probably should have put that together. I'm not smart all the time. So that's what you get.
Okay.
But it's an aphrodisiac dinner. Every course has an aphrodisiac. Brittany takes a moment to pause and laugh at Danny's ridiculous wig. And this.
Well, did you see Jesse's eyes light up? It's aphrodisiac dinner. Maybe I'll get some.
Maybe I'll get some. Creepy turn to wife who doesn't want to bang you.
Who
And
doesn't eat anything on the menu.
yeah, I can't imagine why she doesn't want to bang you when you keep making these fucking jokes like
Oh,
that.
God.
Yeah, she's got the ick. You're not helping your case because
No.
every moment she finally gives you a comment. I'm liking the tattoos. Maybe I'll finally find somebody to have sex with me.
But it's
What
also
the-
that comment is insane, but also doing it in front of a group of people.
but that
The entire group now knows that you aren't having sex. They already did know, but now you're vocalizing it.
over and over at every opportunity, you're telling everyone she doesn't have sex with me. That's not going to make her want to have sex
Right.
with you. But regardless, while Brittany's laughing at Danny's wig, I hope everyone pays attention to Jax shutting it down so fast.
Uh-huh.
And his tone of voice
Yep.
is so dismissive and condescending.
It's just
And-
really rude. We're talking. Can you just let her finish?
Just let her finish. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck
And
up.
you can see like the terror in Brittany's eyes.
Yeah, she shuts down.
She shuts down immediately. She apologizes a billion times, and she says, "I didn't realize what was going on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And
You
he's
don't
still
need to
shutting her down
apologize.
while she's apologizing.
Like, he's just
insane.
such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He treats her like a child. And
Yeah.
I'm going to get into it later. I'm not going to do it right now, but I got something to say about him. But Jesse can't help himself. I figured it out. I've 100% figured out why he goes after Danny. And it's 100% jealousy over
Insecurity
their
and jealousy,
marriage.
yeah.
That's it. He's insecure and jealous of what Danny and Nia have because they are such a great couple together. So he goes after him. He's like, Danny, I found out this past year, like, Danny's just a terrible, terrible actor. Even Jax Taylor has the wherewithal to go to a confession and be like, we found out that he's sensitive. Can we just leave him alone a little bit? Just leave him alone. But Jesse can't help himself because he sees a happy Danny, a stressed out Danny, mind you, but a happy Danny in a happy marriage. So
Yep.
he has to go after
So
him.
there's two things that he's doing. He's going after Danny because he's jealous of Danny and Danny's marriage.
Yep.
But he also sees an opportunity to put a little bit of doubt in Danny's mind so that maybe there's some cracks in the marriage.
Mhm.
And then that's the misery loves company line that we talked about last week, where he's trying to get into Danny's head to find out, oh, what's going on here? Is there a little trouble in paradise? Just like me, just like Jax. We're all together in this, right? All a bunch of shitty marriages. I guarantee you, if Jason had said anything about Janet, he would do the same thing.
Oh, 100%.
He wants everybody to be on the same level that he's in his miserable, miserable marriage. So that's all he's really doing. And even in this scene, when they're talking about the house, he is on, quote unquote, on Danny's side, not because he actually agrees with him, but because he wants Danny to have a little support to see if Danny goes after his wife.
100%. And I also thought it was
insane.
shady that you can clearly see how inebriated Danny is.
Yeah.
And Michelle brings up the housing thing. I'm like, you and Jesse are weirdly perfect for each other, even though you're not anymore.
Yeah.
But the fact that you brought that up, you knew what you were doing as well. And that's also projecting. You look across the table, see this very happy couple who communicate very well together. And boom, the housing thing sets him off. And now Danny, who we can quite clearly see is very stressed out. He has not told Nia because Nia's going through her own shit and he's trying to shoulder the weight of it and not give her more things to worry about. That's what this day was. This was him going off the rails because he had a drink, had another, and he's starting to feel a little bit. The stress is coming out. He's hammering back vodka, drinks on the boat, all the other shit. And while they're talking about the housing stuff, it sets Danny off, and now he gets pissed off. And I feel like people at the table are trying to jab him to get him more angry.
They were gaslighting him, yeah.
Like Jasmine jumping in and be like, you don't listen to your wife. I wanted to be like, time out. Maybe about this topic, sure, because she said, like, he heard me, but he's not, like, understanding me. And is that a window in for you, Jasmine, to, like, take a shot? I guess.
I don't know what the shot's for, though.
I
And
don't
even when you
either.
go to her confessional and she's talking about it, she goes, yeah, it's just really jarring to see him talk to her like that for a marriage that we thought was all very, very happy.
Yeah, so
Like,
she
it's not-
she
like-
acknowledges that something's clearly going on with Danny. It's like, well, then why are you throwing
Yeah.
a dagger in there out of nowhere when you know these two are fine and
Yep.
that they communicate well and support each other? He's not the guy on the show to go after for being an asshole to his wife.
Correct.
We have never seen that before. So for her to throw that weird dig in there, I was like, what the fuck was that about, Jasmine? Like, that made no sense.
He has built up enough of good faith this entire season, and we've seen the way that the two of them interact. They're fully in love and they're fully supporting each
They're
other.
great.
They're allowed to have bad moments.
Yes.
Yes, we would as podcasters, if something like this happened early on, we'd be like, what the fuck's that all about?
Yeah.
Is there some underlying issue? We know what the underlying issues are, and there's a lot of stress going
3
on
under 2.
for outside factors and also internal factors, but it's not about the marriage. They're just having a hard time supporting each other in this moment. Maybe just give them a little bit of grace here and don't rile them up, because the more that you talk, the more he's going to talk because he can't stop himself because he's blacked the fuck out. You're not doing Nia any favors. So that's why I really hate when Danny finally does get up. And look, he does get up and he does walk away and he does the whole, I love you guys, whatever. Don't then be nice to Nia and say we need to get her a shot. She has to deal with that.
Yeah,
Fuck
because
off.
he's not that guy.
No,
and like
he's not that
you
guy.
get cuts of her. Like I think it's really funny that she removes both of them from situations where stuff's going to escalate. Because as she says at the table, like, we don't do this. Like,
Right.
we're not going to have this conversation in front of an entire group of people. It's not appropriate. And even Danny being drunk agrees. And then Danny gets pushed and he says, like, you fucked up, or like something along the lines where he says fuck to her. And she's like, now you're cussing at me on TV. This is on TV. He immediately reels it in. That's where she says, like, you need to figure your shit out, like, go to bed pretty much. And he gets up and actually, he says, you fucked me over.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Because she tries to change the subject after trying to shut everything down. He goes off to bed. Again, is it their best moment? No, absolutely not. Can you see where the stressors aggravated everybody involved? Absolutely. Nia tries to shut it down. Danny gets a little dark for a minute. But I don't think that's his true colors by any means. We have no reason to think that.
Yep.
The fucking worst line possible in this whole thing is Jax out of left field and goes, check on the dads. Shut the fuck up. Shut up, dude. Like, you don't get to play that card, by the way. We know you're a dad. You like to remind people all the time to try to humanize yourself, I guess. That's not the moment, especially when Danny's not looking great with how he's speaking to Nia right now. Don't then throw in check on the dads. We get that he's stressed. I think everybody in that room has a motive at the moment. And I think that some of it might be jealousy of Nia and Danny's relationship overall because they're so great. I think a lot of people at the table harbor some resentment for that.
They harbor resentment because their own marriages are falling apart.
Right. So I think they found that moment to like, all right, we're going to start poking a little bit. Like, this is funny. We get to watch these two try to deal with this for once instead of us.
Well, again, you don't see Janet and Jason over there. And look, we have our feelings about Janet, but you don't see Janet and Jason over there.
No, they didn't chime in.
They realize what's going on and they stay out of it.
Yeah. So
The two failing marriages are the ones who are poking and prodding.
Agreed. So it's just interesting. And then Jax wants to act like Nia's the problem. He's like, check on the dads. Like, no, dude, they're both stressed out for their own reasons that are both valid. You're
Well,
seeing
Jax doesn't care to actually check in on Nia. Jax doesn't care to fucking give a shit what Nia's going through. He doesn't care about what his own wife is going through. He only cares about one other thing, and it's just Jax. And now he's trying to commiserate with the fucking misery that is Jesse and whatever the hell's going on over there. So no, he doesn't care what Nia's going through. He just sees a moment to say, "Hey, we've got feelings too." Do you?
Shut the fuck up, bro.
You bark your feelings at your wife when she's going through it. So no.
And that's why people don't check on you, because they're not worth checking on. But you get the morning after, and I'm really glad this conversation happened, because the way that we left Michelle and Jesse about the potential lingerie photos, I was like, that's it? You have no more questions for her? But turns out he was trying to save face in that moment, maybe just get through the weekend. And they start talking about the text with Tarantino, as I wrote down in my book. They're still blaming Kristen for all of this stuff, by the way. This is still Kristen's fault somehow, even though Jax is the... I hope that when they all watch this season
I hope the finale brings that out.
Something needs to bring that out, because that's a very big point that is seemingly glossed over, and that's because Kristen's not there. Again, we've had 2 episodes pretty much Doute-less. We get a quick check-in with her, like I would much rather be watching rom-coms where you can whine than Big Bear, blah, blah, blah. That sucks. We need Doute here. We need Doute in this moment, because you know what else would have happened when Jax is doing that shit to Brittany? Doute would have stepped in and said, shut the fuck up, Jax. She's the only one that would have. So like that's why you need her there. And the fact that we're watching this show that Jax and Doute brought together, and Doty's not there because they have this weird thing. The fact that she's not in 2 episodes back to back is bullshit.
But she's getting paid way more than the rest of them,
That's
probably.
100% true. But back to Michelle and Jesse. Jesse's questioning things. He's like, look, I know that we deal with clients differently. It's still such a wild line to me that you're equating this to like, you're probably just trying to wine and dine and like wheel and deal. Like, no, dude.
And you're not getting anything out of Michelle, who's just sitting there yesing you along.
She's like, She goes, you know me. I'm not doing anything bad. And Jesse says, this for me, I'm like, all right, she's clearly sending that. She's like, every time, like, you don't let me use your phone, and I walk by, you close it, you're very protective of your phone, and then I hear this, and she's like, I think it's funny you're questioning me. Do you? Because you put A and B together, it equals C. Like, you're weird about your phone, allegedly you're texting dudes inappropriate things, he gets near your phone, and you panic. Put those things together.
And I just really don't understand that, because Michelle is completely out of this marriage at this point. So to turn it around on him and say, I feel like it's weird that you're questioning me, when you have your own feelings that you're talking about with the girls in the group about this marriage and where it's going, or rather not going, for Jesse to say something like that and you feel like it's weird that he's questioning you, I think you just want the conversation to be over.
I do too. And I also think that, where she loses any kind of sympathy from me, and this you can almost take over like the Carl and Lindsay shit in Summer House. It's like you can't continue to have these conversations. I know what they're doing. They're trying to get to the end of the season. But you know quite clearly where you stand, and you are trying to vilify him now for not doing his part. You can get out of this now.
Yes.
You can say, hey, I'm done.
Yep.
And cut him loose. Yeah, it's a divorce. Yeah, it's really fucking serious. And yeah, you probably don't want to do that. But watching whatever this is so uncomfortable on so many levels.
And it would be way more meaningful if you were able to have a real conversation with them instead of utilizing your upper hand.
Yeah.
You know what you have in this situation. This is a relationship that you don't see going anywhere, a relationship that you're seemingly checked out of and moving on and thinking about divorce. You're still utilizing an upper hand because you realize that he's working really hard to try to get back to square one, and you know that you have a power over him. So if you say, I think it's weird that you're questioning me, you know that he's going to stop questioning you. And he's not going to raise any sort of attitude. He's not going to continue to question you. He's going to stop in that moment. So using your upper hand in that moment is super shitty.
I thought so too. Yeah. It's really funny you said that. But we move on to Janet and Brittany, and they're also discussing Jax. This is a big conversation because it's the first time ever that we heard Brittany acknowledge that divorce is not off the table by any means. And I think that's a big thing to note, because if you go to the other side of it, and then when she talks to Jax when they're at that sex therapist or that tantric sex lady or whatever the fuck that was, they both agree, like, oh, we don't get divorced. We don't get divorced. Anytime he's in the room, she's in agreement. It's the first time that she's separated from the group and says, yeah, I could definitely walk away from this marriage, as hard as it may be, because I've been dealing with the same shit for 8 years. He's not changing, and it breaks my heart watching this, because she asks for the smallest things.
Yep.
Go to therapy and be nice to me. How heartbreaking is that? She has to ask her husband, hey, can you be nice to me, please? And he can't. He's incapable of doing it.
Nope.
And again, saving it for later. But we move on. Danny and Nia go take a walk. And I love these two. They need to run.
They need to get the
They
fuck
need
out
to
of there.
go away from Bravo and any reality TV and go live your life and have a TLC show about 3 Under 2 and your life together and how amazing you
You
are.
have the pull of your wife being Miss Universe.
And you were an actor.
Yeah.
You got it. Go somewhere
And your
else.
kids were apparently in Young Sheldon, which I still haven't watched.
Me neither, and will
I
not
never
watch.
will.
Nope, not gonna happen. But I'll watch your TLC show. Just
Absolutely.
don't stay here and let these people fuck up your marriage because they're too genuine. And this conversation was so productive and communicative. And it's like, look, last night was not great. And Nia says, you're not understanding me emotionally as far as the house goes. Like, I don't want to be far away from things and people that I know. I want to be closer to friends.
Yep.
He says, I hear you. It's valid. I would never move us if you're unhappy. And look, we're in a rough season right now because I want to be your rock. She says, I know you do because you're so supportive and I love you so much. But I'm not down and out every day. And the days that I'm not, I want you to go. Get away for a little bit. Go have some fun. I want you to be happy. He's like, oh, I know I'm not honest all the time. I love you. I love you. It's so fucking real and nice and genuine and how a marriage should be and fucking run. Get away from Jax. And get away from Jesse and get away from Michelle.
Yeah, for sure get away from Jesse because if we have single Jesse next year, that's going to be
he's going to be a nightmare. And we're going to have him.
Yep.
We're definitely going to have him. But Danny acknowledges that he held things in that, and anybody with eyeballs and ears can see the scene the night before and just realize that, yeah, this is a dude at his wit's end. It blew up because he didn't communicate how he was feeling.
You could argue that it blew up because he talked to two of the worst people in the world, Jax and Jesse.
You could argue that
And the
as
two
well.
of them got under his skin enough to start talking about it and saying, hey, man, your feelings matter. Don't worry about what your wife's going through. Worry about your own feelings.
That could definitely be it.
Yeah.
That could easily be it. But the last thing we need to really talk about is this boys' dinner in the tasting room.
It's the gentleman's lunch.
The gentleman's lunch.
Get it right.
So sorry. The gentleman's lunch that, of course, we need to price drop. And young Jesse at one point had a dinner for four for $20,000. Why, dude? Why would you spend $20K on and then brag
On
about
a
it?
3-course meal.
5-course meal.
Oh, I thought it was 3.
No, it's 5 courses, 4 people. I did
Oh,
write
okay.
that down.
All right,
4-person, 5-course meal. My guy, like, that's not a flex in my eyes because you don't strike me. Dev and I talked about it to try to figure it out. Like, he doesn't strike me as, like, wealthy. Like, he might be
No.
doing well and they might have money to live where they
I
live.
mean, if anything, it's just straight up new money.
He wants to be rich.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get. I want to exude wealth and
He's probably
elegance.
in crippling debt, and that's
That's
probably
where my
also why
head
Michelle's
goes.
going. Yeah,
That's honestly where my head goes. I don't know, and I don't want to speculate on somebody's financial standing. It just
will.
money talks, wealth whispers. You feel me?
I feel you.
Picking up what I'm putting down?
I feel you.
Why? Are you
I whispered.
whispering? Why?
Wealth.
Oh,
You fuck.
right over right over my head.
Fucking whisper to me.
I was like, what are you doing, you creep?
Trying to turn me on?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Just, you know what? Get the fuck out. We're done. This is over. The episode wrap. No. But Jax arrives. He can't say langoustine, which is a member of the lobster family. It's like a big shrimp, pretty much, is a langoustine.
Can't say it even when somebody says it for him.
Langoustine. Langoustine.
Langazzini.
Langoustine. No, you dickhead. It's a langoustine. But they're Big Bear recapping, and, you know, all the dudes there clearly had a lot to get off their chest. It was like that. And we saw multiple scenes where it's these deep conversations where the only one that actually gets anything from it is Danny because he opens up about being overwhelmed. The other idiots are just repeating what we've already seen and blaming the other people for their misfalling, their missteps in their marriages, where it's like they never give us credit, right, Danny? Shut the fuck up, Jesse. She had her baby and you went out on the town. This is not the same thing.
Yeah.
You guys didn't have deep moments, Jax. That's not a deep fucking moment because you realize that in your own way you're not appreciated. Why would you be appreciated when you're a big steaming pile of shit all the time? You don't deserve appreciation. And the fact that you think you do is astounding to me. But his lack of self-awareness is what really, really grinds my gear. I haven't had a gear ground in a while.
Yeah.
My gear has been ground by this man because he goes, I'm very aware of my marriage. I'm very aware of my marriage. And the group checks him. And thank God Jason's there to speak some sense into him. He's like, I don't think that it's what you think. I think this is a lot worse for Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason highlights how Brittany can call the shots too, and that Jack seems to think that he holds all the power in this relationship because of how he's treated Brittany up to this point. He's beat her down to a pulp so that she never speaks up, never stands her ground, and she's quick to forgive because she doesn't want to deal with the backlash of Jax being Jax. So she just agrees.
But this is, again, why that conversation that we saw in the beginning of the episode is so important, where Brittany actually has a support system. And look, again, it's Janet, and Janet's going to talk to Jason, and Jason's going to bring it up to dinner. I actually appreciate all of this because this is getting Jax in an uncomfortable situation. We've seen Jax this entire season navigate through so many different things that he caused and somehow came out unscathed. Now we at least get Brittany sitting down and talking to the other women in the group like, hey, yeah, this dickhead over here is going to say, make sure you check in on the husbands. But in reality, this conversation that we're having with the wives is way more productive because we're actually talking about our feelings and we're actually giving Brittany a safe space to let it all out after the behavior that we just saw last night. And that's going to rub somebody like Jason, somebody like Danny the wrong way, watching a guy talk to his wife that way, because they're good husbands. So they do have a problem with it. And yeah, it's got to be complicated to bring it up to a guy like Jax because he's just going to nail you into the ground immediately. He's just going to push you down and he's not going to hear anything you say. So is the conversation even worth it? This is a way better angle. Hey, I mean, based off of the conversation that it sounds like Brittany had with Janet, there's a lot more here that you don't know about. And it's way different than what you're portraying right now.
Because that's going to get in the back of his head.
Now, of course, he's probably going to go back to Brittany and yell at her about
Absolutely. 100%, which is, that's what sucks. That's what's horrifying about this marriage. But Jesse doesn't have the right to speak on a lot of things. This is the one moment where I'm like, you know what? And this is him referring to his own marriage again. He's like, you're going to wish that you tried now before it's too late. And Jax, being the big fucking idiot he is, doesn't understand what he's saying because Jesse's acknowledging in that moment, it's done. My marriage is done. I made effort way too late to fix things. You're going to wake up in 2 years and be like, fuck, I could have saved this if I wanted to. Jax goes to a confession. He's like, what am I doing? Am I going to listen to this guy talk about marriage advice? He's not giving you marriage advice.
Yeah, he's giving you divorce advice.
He's telling you how to avoid a divorce, you dickhead. And he dismisses him and he says, his marriage is way worse than my marriage. And this just paints a picture of the psyche of Jax Taylor. He's so stuck in his own fucking reality that he cannot see how, no, dude, yours is worse. Yours is way worse because you have crippled your wife into not being able to speak up, not being a fair partner in this marriage, not giving her any credit or any admiration or affection or anything that you are required to give as a spouse because you love a person. And instead, we watch a guy mentally and emotionally abuse his wife time and time again and seemingly get away with it because people go, oh, that's just Jax.
Yeah.
And I'm so fed up with that fucking narrative because watching Brittany this episode broke my heart, seeing a woman that beaten down by a guy like Jax fucking Taylor. And the fact that he's now out there dating this 30-something model instead of being with Brittany, who has time and time again said how insecure she is about her body, how insecure she is because of Jax. He won't touch her. He won't have sex with her. He won't acknowledge her, won't give her compliments, won't be fucking nice to her. Fast forward, while she's dealing with the fallout of your separation, you're gallivanting around with this woman. Meanwhile, there's cheating rumors left and fucking right. And once again, it's Jax Taylor. No, let's stop this. I don't know why we have the energy for Sandoval, but don't have the fucking energy for Jax. This dude's not funny. He's not a reality TV star. He's a big steaming pile of dog shit. And I'm sick of him getting a pass because he was Jax Taylor from Vanderpump 15 fucking years ago. At what point do we stop giggling at his antics and say, hey, dickhead, you are a fucking asshole. It's not fucking funny. Clean it up or go fuck yourself. Because I'm sick of watching him berate women and nobody say shit to him. I'm sick of watching him treat Brittany like shit and her not get a last word in. And then she has to now defend her fucking kid because people are posting stuff about Cruz because of Jax. Once again, go fuck another waitress in a fucking bar and leave us alone. I'm done. I don't find it any kind of charming anymore. And I'm so sick of it. And I really, really hope and pray that he sees this fucking thing and he accepts my invitation to Rough and Rowdy so I can knock him the fuck out in the boxing ring. Like, that's all I want to do. I want to fucking toe-to-toe with this guy and bitch slap him. I'm so sick of no one standing. I don't know why. Why does no one stand up to him? Like, what does he have? Seriously, that's not rhetorical.
Oh, it was a genuine question?
Yeah,
No,
like,
I
why?
don't know.
Why?
Does he have power over this? Is he a producer?
Maybe, but
Are you
who
afraid
fucking
they're going to lose their
cares?
job? I don't know.
You
wanted an answer.
I just hate
Should
him.
have kept it rhetorical.
It's just crazy. Like, it's just fucking crazy.
Do you
Like,
feel better?
no, because like my thing again is like it's not going to change. He's still going to be recognized as Jax. People are going to still talk shit, but for whatever reason, like again, for me, it's like why does everyone have time for Sandoval and all that shit? But meanwhile, this guy's actively cheating on his wife, has cheated on his wife, and it's more of a comical thing.
Yeah, probably just because he was off camera for a while.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I'm sick of it. Like seriously, I think it's disgusting that shit's on TV and not more is said about it. But whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's get to some questions. What do you
Yeah. Fucking this guy.
First up from legally B_BCF17. Do y'all watch Outlander? It's awesome.
I haven't, but I'm inclined to watch it.
I
now.
watched the first episode. Weirdly enough, I watched the first episode last week, and then this came out. I don't know what that timing's all about.
Bravo infiltrated your.
Doing something. I don't know what's going
cable?
on. So I'll report back. Let you know if it's any
Yeah,
good.
I'll watch it if you recommend it.
From a username that I can't figure out.
Oh yeah, no. Nope.
K Neary Strejek.
Okay.
Sure, we're going with that. Do you think Danny is overtired or a quote unquote drama queen?
I think he's just gassed. I think he's very sensitive.
I think he's very sensitive. That doesn't make him a drama queen.
No, I think he's sensitive and gassed and
yeah.
has a lot going on. And I think that they handled it perfectly. They had a very good conversation. And also, I would say, add to that, you can tell that he's not over the top because of how Nia handled it. Like, she wasn't overly perturbed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
She just said, go to bed. We'll handle it tomorrow. So,
Yeah. From It's Sin, do you think Janet was fishing regarding divorce topic with Brittany and she took the bait?
nah.
I don't know. That did actually seem, and again, we do have our reservations about Janet and what she's doing on this show, but that actually seemed like a genuine friend.
Yeah, she's shady a lot of the time. That just
Yeah.
seemed, I think anybody in that position would ask her because what they just witnessed.
We did get a couple of questions that weren't really questions. It was just people pointing out how funny the wig is, which it is a very funny wig.
Oh, speaking of, let's hear your Scottish accent.
Oh, I can't do accents. You know I can't do
I know,
accents.
that's why I want to hear your accent.
No, I can't do it. I'm very open about the fact that I can't do accents.
You're fun.
I'm sensitive, all right, pal?
Oh, fuck you.
Let's hear yours, because I know you want to do it.
No, with your weenies and teenies sweatshirt. That's
Yeah,
a sick
shout
sweatshirt.
out Weenies and Teenies.
That's a sick sweatshirt.
Yeah, thanks.
Where'd you get that?
It was one of my girlfriend's friends' birthdays, and I said that I would wear it on the show. It's a great sweatshirt, though.
Is it a place?
No.
Yeah, that's solid.
Oh, it was a 30th birthday or 29th birthday or something.
That's solid. That's solid.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting me one. Piece of shit.
This isn't even mine.
I stole this shirt from Frank.
Yes. Oh, great.
If anyone gets that reference, you're our new favorite fan.
And then we'll do one more here. Again, everybody's just kind of pointing out the wig. From the Orsoila SZ Dennison. Number one girl in the group. That's a tough one. I didn't think it was going to be that tough when I read it.
Layered. It's layered because, I mean, Nia's great, but she's not going to cause a bunch
As far
of
as
commotion.
TV goes, yeah.
I mean, look, probably Doute, even though she's not there for me.
It's weird because it was starting to be Jasmine because she was logical.
And then she
was
that
asking
weird-
questions, and then she threw a jab at Danny, so she's back out.
Not Janet because she's trying too hard.
Not Janet.
Not only
It's
leave. It's
definitely
definitely
not Michelle.
No.
I guess it is Doty.
It's Doty, and she's not even there. That's my point.
She's gonna come back next
And
episode.
Zack's not there either, and Zack's
I
fucking
know.
great too. Like this, they.
They dropped the ball on this one.
It was still a good episode, but fuck,
Agreed.
those two not being there was stupid. Get over yourselves. You got to invite people you don't like sometimes. Like fucking, that's part of the show.
Yeah,
that's
I
your
agree.
job.
Yep. But that's all I got. You got anything?
No, I feel better now.
All right, good.
Yeah, that was two emotional episodes.
Too
Didn't see that
emotional.
coming. I thought I was gonna go on a rant, but I didn't think it was gonna be that long.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, fuck that guy. What a piece of shit. Anywho, don't forget to sign up for Bravo Bros members. The link is at the bottom of this episode description. It is also in the link in our Instagram page. $5 for the month, $50 for the year. Join the craze that's sweeping the nation and then internation.
Yep.
Oh, wait, is that a thing?
Internation?
If it's national and it's nation, international, internation.
Yeah, why not?
Someone did confirm therapize is a word.
I thought so.
Yeah, so therapized still sounds better to me. But
yeah,
Bravo Bros got her.
See ya.